It's promotion.
What's up, everybody? This is the Poker Coaching Study Session, and today we are with our friend Joss. Joss decided that it was a good idea to make a training program that is based on HRC inputs. So he's going forward with that, and today he brings us this wonderful little tool that is brand new, that is in development. And tell us about it, Joss.
What I basically did is run a lot of HRC sims, and then you can output strategies, and this tool is capable of reading those in. And now what you see here is just a random position in a HRC tool. It's giving how many players left, how many paid, and the average stack of all the stacks left.
So you don't have any chippy V sims in there, do you? It's all ICM.
It's all ICM sims, but you could also put chippy V sims in if you want. I mean,
Nice.
you can do both. So you can also make this in a chippy V training tool if you want.
So it's basically like a bit like Pyro Solver. We have like sims, we can play against the sim, while Joss made something to play against the HRC sims.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's cool.
Right, so here, what would we do with Jack 10 suited?
Yeah, the card selection can be better. That's
Yeah.
one of the things we already saw. The low jack opened. He's the big stack, so he's pretty wide.
I'm opening wide.
I'm folding because that's the bottom of his opening range. We don't want to mess with that. You said, right, Louis?
Jack 10 suited. That's not the bottom of his opening.
Well,
range.
no, I mean 10. 10
Yeah,
interaction
Jack and 10, I think we need to
is
let
real
go.
bad. Yeah.
So what about one pip up? Like, what about Queen 10 suited? We let it go as well?
10 still interacts. Yeah. I think the 10,
What
I
about
think,
one pip higher? What about hands like King Jack suited?
I think those we can go with.
I'm definitely not jamming King Jack suited here.
Oh, jamming? No, I'm not jamming.
Is the range of the low jack wider than normal because it's chip leader?
Yeah, low jack should be pretty wide here. King
Wider
jack
than
might be
normal.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
playing
I think I would-
CPV.
No, you know what? Actually, we might have, Ken is right here. We might be jamming a lot of suited kings in his face.
I think so too.
A very interesting spot. Not
His
sure.
range should be very, very wide.
But it sucks with the cutoff folding, but like, we still gotta play poker, right?
What do we do with ace
Yeah.
jack off here? Shove?
Yeah.
Oh, shove. I'm shoving this jack. Because
I don't think I call anything here. Maybe
What do we
aces.
do with ace 10 off?
fold.
Yeah.
Ace 10
No,
off.
I never folding ace 10 off you.
Well, we have a 10.
Do we have a
Lower,
calling range?
there's lower stacks though, too. That's the thing.
Yeah, we
just
wanna go
one
low
lower
before
stack
this
and lower
time.
stacks.
Louis,
One
what's
lower-
our
Oh,
calling range?
Ace
I
10
think-
off might be bottom.
I will call with pairs here.
Yeah.
Aces and kings, maybe.
You gotta call it pairs to can't jam, right? Like, you
Not
don't
calling with
want-
sixes, right?
Call with like
Ace
sixes,
I am
sevens.
definitely calling with sixes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm folding ace.
I
10.
don't
You
think
know
we
what? I'm
call it.
folding them too,
Are you
because
set
we're not
mine
getting the
at
price.
sixes? No, I wouldn't set mine here.
I'm jamming like nines plus.
Let's peek. I think a lot of players said what they wanted.
Ace 10's folding.
Jam.
So
Ace
sevens.
10's folding.
So it's
This
jamming
time,
a lot.
Just some hands raise. And the rest
So
is
we were right on Jack 10 suited, Queen 10 suited,
Ace
but
10
yeah,
too.
jamming King Jack. Ken was right.
Jack 10
call.
jam would be minus 0.1, minus 0.01.
I was too tight with my pairs. I thought eights and sevens blocked the bottom of their range, so I didn't wanna jam them.
I said I would call with sixes and aces, and I see there's a sliver.
But you don't block his this part of his range, Ken.
Right.
Louis and a sliver.
So
Yeah,
you-
that's
Ace
the
10
range
suited
it's
has the
gonna
biggest
call, and
sliver.
I'm like, still not loving life.
Yeah, of course not, but you have to have some. It's just Series V almost.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna win 52 and 54% against that portion of the range, I guess.
And it's HRC, so
Yeah.
it's a solve.
King Queen's still in there too, so that's.
King Queen suited and King Queen off. I would imagine. but more easier.
Can you also show the low jack range?
On the moment, not. But that's some of the things I want to do. That you can say, okay, now go for a study mode.
It's probably like 50%, right?
Then you can go around and go to the low jack. What's its opening range? What would the hijack do? What would small blind do? What would the big blind do if I raise or go all in or whatever?
Well, hijack and big blind can't play anything because they're middling stacks. So low jack is probably opening a lot of hands here.
Yeah, pretty wide, but not.
He's probably opening close to a button chip EV range, cutoff chip EV. I'd say he's open like a cutoff chip EV.
I think
range.
40, 50%.
Yeah,
Not 40, 50. Yeah,
40, 45.
Go wild here if you chip leader.
yeah, but there are players that can jam into him, so he's not.
I'll construct his range a bit differently, more blockers, right? More suited kings, all the suited aces, more ace offsuit aces than normal.
Oh, very nice. I would just call here.
Ace-6 suited. I also think it's a call.
Yeah, just to see a flop.
Oh,
At least we don't fold. We are the
Yes.
small stack. We have a.
Yeah, he's middling
If
stack.
let me ask you a question. So if it, this is
Exactly.
my thing. If it was like ace 4, ace 5, would that be something you would jam there?
I'm jamming
Suited?
this, honestly.
Suited?
Maybe I
I'm
fold
just-
this
But
one.
he
More than
loses
ace-6.
this, he loses, he falls down to like tied with third if he loses this.
Cause I'm thinking if I had ace 5 or ace 4, at least I have a straight to go with it too as well. You know what I mean? A straight draw.
Yeah, it's
versus
better hand
ace
than this.
6.
That's 0.01% chance almost. So
I'm
it's-
lasting chips, I'm ripping it.
Are we jamming all pairs?
Yeah, all pairs, sure. But I don't
Maybe
think,
not
Aces,
twos,
maybe?
maybe not twos and threes, but
Yeah, I'm probably doing 5s plus right there.
me also, not aces and kings also not.
Yeah, his range is pretty tight of hijack because the button is.
He's
Chip
middle
leading.
stack, so.
He's gonna 3-bet a lot. So I think we call a lot here.
Let me ask you guys a question. If you have aces or kings, are you calling here or are you jamming?
aces, I'm just calling.
yeah, always.
Okay,
Kings I mix.
Kings, I'm raising.
okay.
Um,
Then queens up below are probably just jamming pretty much, right?
I think I'm jamming offsuit aces here and suited aces, I lean towards calling. I also
Suited
lean
aces.
towards jamming suited kings, like
Uh,
weird
I
stuff
fold.
like king 4 suited, I would maybe jam here.
I
Yeah.
fold ace 5, ace 6, ace 7 offsuit, and then jamming.
What also was mentioned, that hijack is not that loose because the button is the big stack.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
medium,
yeah.
So he has higher risk premium. So he's probably as tight as normal low jack ranges or something like that. Huh?
I would honestly rather have ace 5 suited though than ace 6 suited.
Sure,
But
but
I'm
I mean, I think this can go, I think we can go with this. I would fold like ace 6 off, ace 7 off.
Oh, well, oh, you know what too? We're the lowest anyway too, huh? Yeah,
Yeah, we have
yeah.
small stack.
I think ace deuce, right?
Yeah, that might be
More.
better of a jam, and now you're putting max pressure on that guy, which will be cut in half if he does, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I think, yeah. I
He's
like the
opening ace 5 probably, so.
Yeah, actually,
Better
not incentivized indeed to play post flop, so there's a lot of jamming probably.
Yeah, you
This
don't
is
need to
not-
block any of the bottom of his range here, really. So I think this one's okay.
The other hand, you have only to pay one big blind to see flop. So. Pretty
Oh,
much.
ace 5,
I'm way
ace
too
5. See,
Ace
ace 5.
6.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a little right, I was right. I said I fold at first, but I said, no, I said call. Never mind, I said call.
The offsuit aces are folding.
It's close.
And it's not raising. Oh yeah,
6 is not.
raising is the same as all in.
Yeah, in this case, all in.
I'm surprised it has such a wide calling range.
It's only one big blind to call.
Yeah, I
You
get-
notice how ace jack, ace 10 and ace 9 suited call too, just cuz that's effectively in his range, right? Is the bottom card basically,
Yeah.
right? 8, 9, 10, and he's opening wider, he's probably opening 9s, you know, so yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, but for instance, I think these hands you don't want to raise, but because if you're called, you're
I-
not pulling out better hands almost.
I think I seen it in the other one too, kind of like where, okay, so if he's opening hijack, he's opening tens, right? 10 offsuit tens. On the normal range, it seems like when we're interacting, we don't want the card below or the one card above. One
I
pip
think the
lower and
blockers
one
are
pip
less
above, right?
interesting now.
The one thing I notice here is
I've
that
seen that a couple
way too
times.
wide. Suited hands, like
Because the
these,
last couple hands, I think you guys showed that too. I think.
Yeah, but what the way I look at it, that's you have the value hands like this, something like this. I know these are value hands, of course, and then the pairs.
Mhm.
like folding king
Then you
ten
have
off here
bluffs.
for one big blind
These
is
are
pretty
clear
good.
bluffs, and these are in between hands, in between the value and the bluffs.
Yeah, he's probably opening
These
ace
are
five
also
suited plus.
good playable hands post flop.
We have
Yeah.
bluffs at this stack depth. That's crazy.
So these are not value and not bluff. So yeah, you call.
Yeah, if he's opening ace five suited plus, you don't want to fold out those hands. That's why you're
Yeah.
probably jamming ace four, ace three, ace two suited because he folds ace
You
five.
don't
ace
fold
six.
better hands here. You only fold in worse hands. That's not what you want.
Okay, what was Louis
I
saying
have a-
about the suits? And also, I have a question about the pairs. Why is sixes calling it like medium pairs? You know, the rest raising.
Yeah, that's just minor EV differences. I mean,
Okay, okay, like little.
yeah, it's
Nothing
No, it
too-
has to do with,
actually the same EV for both for calling and raising.
it
same
has to do with the bottom of the opening range from villains. That means villain is probably opening like ace six suited. And maybe king
And
six
sixes.
suited.
And
And
sixes
sixes.
and fives.
Okay, a lot of six suited and stuff. Okay.
If you
So,
jam sevens, you can call sixes.
but what is really shocking me here is that how do you not add one big blind with a hand like king six suited here, try to make a flush? The jack eight suited, king ten
Yeah.
offsuit. I've
Yeah.
never folded king ten offsuit in my life here.
It's
I'm always
minus
flipping in one
0.00.
big blind.
It's minus 0.00.
Yeah, it's losing. It's not
Yeah,
making money.
it's not
It's
losing.
probably because his opening range is so tight. I think.
It's so close.
Yeah, yeah, but you're on the big blind. I mean, all the suited hands, I think I would call. I think I would call ace nine off, king ten off. Queen ten off.
Not queen three suited. You would call.
I'm suited. What if the flush comes? I'll never forgive myself.
Louis,
Yeah,
you'll never
for
see the
one
flush
big blind.
coming. You're last to act.
Here you
Yeah.
can, peek, but in game
Fine.
you shouldn't peek. That's just teasing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to be a lot tighter here.
So I have a question, before you move on, I have a quick question about this. It's a dumb question. Would you call this, our calling range here, linear or polar? It looks mostly linear to me with just the ace, with just the low aces.
Yeah,
How
it's
would you
true.
describe it?
It looks mostly linear with a few like ace ten and suited aces.
I don't
King
think
nine,
it's linear and it isn't polar.
Right, so it's just linear.
Yeah.
It's just a linear call off range.
It's
Okay.
in between.
I don't know. It is polar with a few
Paul,
value hands.
calm down.
I
calm.
don't know.
I miss these value hands for polar ranges. I miss these value hands. I mean,
I
Alright,
don't know.
let's move on. Let's see another one.
I would say in between. Let's see what we are the second
this-
small stack.
This
and,
one's a fold.
Yeah, but what do you
ten
do
off is
here?
fold.
What would you do here with king six suited?
King six suited. I'm
Fold.
probably gonna I think I think that's a good three bet, right? The min raise.
It might be.
I'm just testing it. This is something Galen was going over with me. So I was trying to, and I was making a lot of mistakes on like, I would think it was like the higher ones and you really want to pick like a high low. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not blocking
It's
is
not really like that pre-flop. I know what you mean, but it's more like post-flop.
I'm folding kings.
Yeah, king six, I'm probably gonna raise there because I figure, okay, so he's opening up eight, nines. I don't want to interact with them, so I think those would be good cards because I can get better kings to fold.
That's what I'm telling you, Juan. It's a good concept, but not pre-flop.
Good concept, but wrong.
Wrong
Okay.
spot. Good concept. You think about it right, but it's not for this spot.
Okay,
What you say is like post flop.
okay.
Yeah, in this spot, I'm gonna be unbalanced. I'm gonna be super value heavy with ace five as the bluff here, right? Like the odds of the big blind colliding and you laddering a spot is really big here,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah, he should be tight, because indeed the small blind is behind him with a bigger stack. So
Do we
I
have a
think
calling range?
Yeah,
the big blind
the big,
not falling a lot.
yeah, the
this is
big
gonna
blind can
be
jam.
What do you
Ace
do with
jack.
ace ten suited here?
Oh, I'm not folding. but-
I'm not.
pro- either
I'm just shoving.
shove.
no, I'm not shoving.
I'm raising to 9 or something.
They're calling or shoving, but mostly, I don't know.
Calling to,
And suited, I mean, at the cutoff, 8, 9, I mean, that does that kind of does interact, but I got the top of yeah, I think I'm shoving. I don't think I'm calling.
Do you think you have a big shoving range, or is it mostly raising small and calling?
I think this one is gonna be the type of hand we saw before where ace jack suited is gonna call, aces are gonna call, and all the better hands are gonna shove.
We can't go broke before the big blind.
Yeah, so I don't think we have a big shoving range. So not that
Oh,
most
yeah,
hands
you're-
shove. I think
We
You're-
don't,
you're
we
pretty-
don't have a big calling range here, that's for sure. So
yeah, that's also true.
we're either
No,
raising
Yeah.
small or folding.
Yeah, you're right about that.
maybe some shoves, but not a lot, I think.
Now, the real question, you have pocket nines here, what do you do?
I want to shove, but I raise small.
I'm calling
agree.
with pocket nines. Now that we ruled out the call button, I'm calling with pocket nine.
Right,
It's
right.
like-
Most people will shove, right? Or most people raise and then shove when it gets.
Yeah,
back to the
I
button.
raise and see what happens. If small blind shoves, I will fold. And if cutoff
Are you,
jams,
are
I
you
call.
shoving pocket tens then, Louis?
Yes, no, I'm jamming two tens.
Yeah.
I
so
think I
calling
raise
nines,
also
jamming
10s.
tens.
Calling two
Why wouldn't you
nines
just
and
raise?
calling two eights.
If you raise, you can still fold against small blind.
Yeah, if you raise, you put also the big blind in a spot that if he jams, or if he can't call, because cutoff can also still jam. So that's also a problem for him. It's more difficult than against the call.
So
Yes,
this
okay.
is what
Ever
I
call.
like about your sim, your software, it's because it adds a layer of difficulty that we don't really encounter with other trainers, like. puts
Is
us-
that only jamming? It's not opening in front of him.
Like we're in the box every time, it seems.
Let's peek. Oh, it's a lot of jamming.
A lot of jamming with ace ten suited. Look at pocket eights.
Yeah, a lot of jamming.
What?
I
How
was
big are the
wrong.
pay jumps?
I'm not calling with eights. I'm
Isn't it better to not go all in and then wait for the other players? If they all jam, you can still fold and ladder twice.
I would also say that yeah, HRC is it's
If
close.
if I raised, then I would raise to 9 or something. That go all in.
Why is it not calling with aces? Is it like final table scenario or like, just,
Well,
Trapping
it's
that
more-
he can open more hands if he just raise small with aces. Then he can also play ace 3 and ace 4. Otherwise, he can't.
Yeah.
That's so he's wider and he realized more equity that way.
And small blind can jam a lot because the big blind is short.
That's most of the
So we
time.
need to protect that range.
But
Why are eights folded?
good question. I don't know.
It's very simple. Whenever you're against a late position in this game, like button and cutoff, having like nines or eights here, you block the bottom of his opening range. Like if if the cutoff has like king eight suited, he's gonna raise. Ace eight suited is gonna raise. Maybe 10-8 suited is raising, you know, so, but that portion with eights and nines, you're blocking all the bottom of his range. So that's
Meaning-
why when against late position, It's always the same pattern. If you're against early position, it's having a 10 or a jack that is really bad. And against late position, it's an 8 or a 9.
Right,
So
and
you
in
have
this
to grab
case.
two
that
of
makes a
them.
lot-
in
that
this
makes-
case,
Like
that-
here,
that makes
it's
a lot
not
of
as
sense.
clear with pocket nines, okay?
Yeah, that
But
makes a lot of
if you
sense.
look at all the other suited nines, like nothing is playing, not even ace nine suited, right?
Right, that makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense. All
yeah.
he's left with is like over pairs and, you know, or maybe like over cards, so you don't wanna.
Exactly, you got it right.
Uh,
If you have a
And
9
then-
or an 8 in your hand, it's more likely that your opponent has like a 10 because you're
Yeah.
blocking the bottom end of his range.
Still,
So
And
should-
then the reason we fold the reason we fold 5-5 is it blocks ace 5 suited.
Yeah.
I bet.
Oh yeah, yeah. So should nines be missing also?
It should, but here it's not as clear, right? But it doesn't matter because it's a pattern we see very, very frequently. But you also have to consider here, we only have 15 big blinds and a pair of 9 is still very strong, right? So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
very close for this hand.
It's very close. It's not the most important thing part of the tree, I think. I
Yeah.
think
Right.
And then,
that you mostly shove and that you have aces that raise small and that you have some bluffs with it. That's
and the idea here is if instead of if you change this to an all shove strategy, so you shove your aces, then you can't play the ace 3 and the ace 4.
Yeah,
Then you
we
just
You can't
have
play
shoves.
as much.
Then you
least
just
that-
have shoves with ace 5.
right, you're not balanced.
Yeah, so well, you're not gonna have any calls, but I'm saying if you go to all shoves, like I said, why don't I just simplify this and shove everything you can? But now you can't play ace 3 and ace 4 and ace 5 as much, as often.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most people shove at these small stack depths, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and they don't play ace 3 suited either, or ace 10 off.
so okay, yeah, that's where I fail, like, you know, to have a calling range and even a small raising range. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I do have a
yeah,
small
that's
range.
what I implement more and more. Calling with or raising small with aces. Don't jam.
Yeah,
And then, for instance, maybe not use this hands, but you can also use these hands to just.
What's the EV
right.
difference?
It's
between raising
counterintuitive
and
to
calling?
shove aces. You don't wanna shove. I
It's
agree.
0.06 difference. No, 14.
14.
Alright, let's see.
But if
Play
you
another
adjusted
one.
this strategy, if you decided you were gonna have a jam or fold strategy,
It's
You-
probably less.
and you compared it to this, you would change your ace 3, ace 4 play, but I don't think you'd lose that much money. I think a jam or fold here is gonna be very close to this more complicated strategy.
I don't think it matters. I think we're just looking at the matrix. We're just trying to get an idea of more or less the hands we should be playing.
Yeah, you could also.
No one's
jam.
gonna figure that out perfectly, so
Totally.
like we just wanna have a vague idea here.
Is it chip EV or dollar E EV?
Table equity.
PV, oh, it's ICM.
It's a percentage of table equity. If you really.
So this is the way you should play against good players. Now, if the blinds were smaller, should you implement?
No, 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 no,
less-
no, no,
No,
no,
no, no,
no.
no,
Paul,
that's.
This is the perfect solution for this spot. This is the strategy to maximally exploit your opponents.
Okay, this
Based
spot.
on this stack distribution. It doesn't
and what-
matter, like.
What are the
the-
payouts?
Perfect opponents only, yeah.
Do we always also, can you also show the payouts?
Eventually, this is
No,
a
not
work
here.
in progress. Yeah, but yeah, that's a good
I
suggestion.
think it's important. If it's top heavy or
Payouts,
not.
maybe?
Yeah, I want to
Just-
make
just-
a menu also here that you have some options to do.
Yeah,
all.
just in buy-ins or
Yeah,
something.
because like the files already have that, right? So it shouldn't be too.
Yeah, the structure is in there. I have it.
If it's a winner take all, it's completely different.
Okay, now I understand a little better. So in this position,
31 paid. That's in here, and it's
Oh,
6
yeah.
left.
Ah, yeah,
That's
6 left.
that information is in there.
Okay, cool.
These
then it's the
Frisians,
payout.
huh, Joss? These damn Frisians.
Yes. Josh knows who we are.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I know he
well,
does.
yeah.
I know he does.
I hear his accent and I know it. You can't.
so
We're like the French people in Canada.
Alright,
is it a mistake to shove or fold at this stack depths in this position?
no, it's probably exactly what you need to do. For
Okay.
this, the one we're looking at now, Now, Paul, let me ask you something interesting. Where do you stand here with king jack suited and where do you stand with king ten suited?
Okay, on the button.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Opened, and he's of the remaining stacks, he's similar
Well-
to the big blind.
well, I'm gonna be honest here, king ten suited, I would like to call, or maybe even raise more,
Okay.
but I probably wouldn't raise. I would like to call king ten suited more than king off.
Okay, but Paul, first adjustment we're gonna do, you're not gonna have a calling range here. And if you
Okay.
have one, it's definitely not gonna be king ten suited.
Right, it's gonna be a better hand.
Yeah, one of the things you need to know is against the
Yeah.
bigger stack, you are not incentivized to call, only raise and fold.
Okay.
Because post flop there's also ICM and he's then in the favor.
So where do you stand with king ten suited, Paul?
On a king ten suited here,
You can make the straight flush.
yeah, I wouldn't shove more. I mean, I would do a lot more shoving. I think king ten is a cusp, right?
You'd shove, but what if the guy just has aces and you go broke before the cutoff?
And that's what happens. But
Yeah,
I don't want
but
to. I
you're
don't want to
losing a
call. I
lot
don't
of
want to fold.
money. You're losing a lot of money if you do that.
Okay.
Cutoff is 10 big blinds. You can outlast him. If you just do nothing, you outlast him. Right?
They always double up.
By outlast, this is final table. Sorry, I wasn't here on the beginning. This is final table scenario, or
Yeah, final table 31 paid, every stack's 25 bigs.
okay. In that case, then yes, I do agree with Louis said. Yes, I'll
Good.
less in the cutoff.
Perfect. What do you do with king ten suited, Paul?
I fold king ten suited.
Good. What do you do with king jack suited?
I fold king jack suited.
I don't like that.
Trick question.
That's too nitty, huh? Too nitty.
I don't like that. I would stuff king jack suited in his face and pray.
Stuff it.
I would stuff and then start a prayer to warn Jesus.
I just learned something here.
I would go and look at the other tables. That I have,
All right,
Louis,
let's have it.
Louis, what are you doing with queen jack suited?
Queen jack
Oh.
suited, I am ripping and praying.
Well,
Rip
if you're
and pray.
ripping
Wow.
queen jack suited, king ten suited is better.
No, I don't know.
Close.
Hmm,
Slightly better king jack.
you know what?
No, queen jack
That's
doesn't make.
like the sign kind of bad hands. But king ten suited, I think it's a rip. as well.
Yeah, it's the bottom of your rip, I think. indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we don't play jack ten suited as the only suited Broadway, I think.
That's
Yeah.
the low, Jack 10.
I think I
King-
rip king ten suited, queen jack suited, and that's about the bottom of my range.
And
do
king
you-
queen off, what do you do with king queen off?
I'm folding. You can mix if you want. I'm snap folding.
I
Block ace king, you block ace queen.
Yeah, I'm folding.
You're flipping against jacks, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and you-
ripping king jack, king ten suited, but I'm snap folding king queen off.
He's folding ace
Oh.
5.
What ace suited are you jamming or folding?
Oh
Alright.
my goodness, you wanna take it there, Joss?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. Are you
Yeah,
jamming
ace 4,
ace
ace 3.
ace ten suited or ace five suited?
Not ace 5, I think. Ace 4,
Not ace-
ace 3.
Yeah, the wheels are going in.
All the wheels?
All
You
the
can't-
wheels are going in.
Ace three, ace
Maybe
four, ace
not
five?
ace deuce, but all the other ones.
Oh,
They're gonna mix. They're not gonna be pure jams.
Yeah, that's right. And
Especially
then
if your opponent is tight.
And we call
Offsuit.
0%?
offsuit, I think I shove ace jack.
He doesn't have to be
Yes.
tight. I mean, he's,
I
Yeah,
fold ace ten, I shove ace jack.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I shove ace 10.
What do you do with fives?
fold.
Fold.
Folding fives.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to, right?
Sixes.
okay, hold on a second.
The hijack against the cutoff, I would maybe jam
Here's-
hijack.
Here's why I wanna argue again. I wanna argue against, being this loose. It's based on the hijacks range. So most of the game, this hijack is in great position against the low jack. He gets to see the low jack act. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot.
He's seeing the low jack to act first. That's true.
Right, I thought, I was putting the low jack in the big, I thought I had him still to act.
Big
No,
blind is
this is great. Yeah, this is great. Go on, continue your lives.
Let ace ten off be a shove.
Offsuit ace, ace queen, fold ace jack.
Suited aces between the 10 and the 5. What are we doing? Suited aces.
I think ace jack I would shove, but
Ace 9, ace 8, ace 7. What are we doing?
for 9 I'm shoving.
You don't
Don't
want
know.
to have, you don't want to have an 8 or a 9. You want to fold the 8 or 9.
Yeah, pocket eights here, you
And the 7
fold.
and the 6. So
Pocket
ace
eight.
9. I think we're
Ace
folding
nine.
ace 9 as well.
Ace
Against
nine,
the
ace ten
small,
off,
maybe
it's not
maybe
fold.
it
No,
matters.
ace 10 off,
In
I'm jamming.
population, it doesn't matter.
I'm jamming ace 10 also.
Alright,
Suited?
let's see it, let's see it.
I mean, it's not correct to jam ace 10 off.
Ooh,
Nice.
ace nine, you guys are splashed. Oh, look at the wheels. Look at the
Yeah,
Ace
you know,
5?
Yeah,
What
ace
is
3 and
ace
4
5
stuff.
doing in there?
look at the pocket pairs.
Yeah.
There's a sliver here, but 8-7 falling.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Okay,
They wanna-
9s plus just for
Look at your king, queen offsuit, Mr. Joss.
Yeah, but king 10 and queen jack are in there indeed.
Look at that
Yeah,
king
that's
10
exactly what I
suited.
said.
Look at that king 10 suited.
Exactly what I said.
It's 0-0-2.
It's not a good end at ICM, Joss. Get rid of it.
Yeah, no.
You were saying you were folding king 10 suited though, just.
No, I said I was
not
jamming
fit.
it.
Yeah, you were starting with king 10 suited folding, only if we convinced you that you should jam.
Wow.
ace jack offsuit.
But ace jack off is mixing. I
Only
was
half of this jam.
I made a bit too optimistic.
I'm not mixing enough here with ace jack off. I
That's
have
why I never win tournaments.
easy trigger with the ace jacker.
I folded that ace jack off, yay.
You fold, are you?
I was
50
right.
big
Look
blind.
at it. Look at it. Look
Yeah,
at
'cause
it.
like-
I'd shove it in his face.
I
Sam,
rolled a
when
40
you get
I rolled
another
a
chance-
49. I
I'd
did
shove it in
close.
his face, and if I was live, I'd show him an ace.
If you're shoving ace jack off at full frequency, you have to start playing king queen off.
No,
If,
have-
if ace
I
jack
have to
becomes
start-
full frequency,
no,
king
no, no,
queen
no,
is
no. I have to play like ace ten off, maybe. I have to play ace nine suited, maybe. I'll pick these two hands way before king queen off. King queen off at ICM is hardly ever doing.
Garbage.
An ace is better than king queen.
Yeah, you want an ace blocker.
That's
King
true.
queen garbage off.
You only block indeed with king queen some hands that call, but he's probably not calling with ace queen off against this range. I don't know.
No, but it's still the idea of you're squeezing the toothpaste tube pretty close to the top, so you're pushing it towards the bottom of the range.
No, if
Blocking the
you're,
kings, the queens.
if you're
Yeah.
ICM aware, then aces are better than are more valuable. Eh? The high cards get more value.
It's interesting. Ace queen off and ace queen suited have some calling in there.
Yeah, it's a sliver.
Yeah.
Paul, if you look at this matrix and you look for calling range, you're doing it wrong. Okay,
Oh,
this
okay.
is a push.
Simplify, shove ace queen. Shove.
This is just a push or fold. And if you wanna get tricky, all you can do is aces.
Right at this stack depth against
That's all.
big stack, you have no calling range, right?
Yeah, don't focus on exceptions. Focus
So you
on,
can't call because then the big blind can call very easily, and then you get up against two big stacks.
exactly. So focus on the bigger picture. On things that happens a lot, on the greater idea only.
Yeah,
Don't look for details. Details give you no money.
yeah, they're probably gonna just confuse me.
Okay, next hand.